Hey everyone, my name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thank you for joining me today on this Flosstube Friday for Flosstube number 41. And I have so much to show you. I've been so busy stitching this week. I finished Hildegard last week, as those of you who watched the video know. If you haven't, I'll put a link to last week's video up here so you can take a look at her in all her glory. And thank you all so much for all your kind words about Hildegard. I'm just really pleased with her. But after finishing her, like I said, went a little wild and started all the things. So I have 3 starts. I have one of those that I finished, fully finished, and is already sent out. So I just have a picture to show you. I have plans and a tiny little bit of haul. I reorganized. Look over here. I'm excited. But before we get to any of that, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me on my crafty and artistic adventures. And welcome back everyone who's been hanging out with me for however long you've been with me. It's been so nice to get to know you here in the comments on YouTube and also on Instagram. And if you are not following me on Instagram, you can find me at Dr_Christy. I'll put it right here. And that's where I post kind of daily updates. And lately I've been, belatedly, but I have been participating in #embroiderMay, which is like a series of questions that kind of looks at your stitching and your embroidery and your thought process and those kinds of things. So it's been really fun to answer those questions and post some of my old finishes, which has been nice to kind of dig through my film roll, as it were. So anyway, if you're interested in any of that, you can find me at Dr_Christy, which should have been here the whole time. This is a channel about embroidery and cross stitch and other textile crafts and baking and history and the history of all of those things. So if any of that is interesting to you and you are not subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe and stick around. First, we have administrative business. I will not have a video on Tuesday. My mom is coming tomorrow. I'm so excited. I haven't seen her in like 17 months, so it'll be really nice to see my mom. And I'm taking her back to the train station on Tuesday. So no video on Tuesday. And my video next Friday will hopefully be on Friday, but it may be on Saturday because I have article edits that are due on Friday. Everything is happening in the next 2 weeks. It was not very full until a week ago, and then it got very, very, very full. So no video on Tuesday, possibly very late video on Friday or Saturday. My next floss will be Friday or Saturday. That's my administrative stuff for you. So I'll see you then. But let's talk about my start and finish that happened in the week. I participated in a challenge that was hosted by Crafty Crafts by Dina. She is a paper crafter, so she works with paper. And she had an ATC challenge, and an ATC is an artist trading card. And basically it's like a sports trading card, but for artists. And it was invented in the 70s by, I think, a Swiss artist. And essentially you make a little 2.5 inch by 3.5 inch card that fits in those sleeves that you use for, sports trading cards. And you send them out to people. You do an exchange. And so you get kind of people's artwork in a tiny little form, and you can put it and you can collect them. And I think that's such a cool idea. And the theme for this was May flowers. And so I decided I would just stitch a little floral, happy floral thing and attach it to a little card and put my information on it and stuff and send it out. And it was for a contest, but I don't win contests, although I need to talk about that too. But I don't expect to win. I just kind of wanted to participate in the challenge, which I thought would be really fun. So this is my little floral that I did. It's a little bloom with a vine and some flowers. And I put it on a shiny rose gold cardstock, and I attached all sorts of stuff. Anyway, so it's nice and thick, but I think it looked really cute. And I did it on linen so that way I could fray the edges really nicely, and I like it a lot. I thought it was cute. I sent that out earlier in the week, but it hasn't gotten there yet, so it should get there by the next time I see you, and that will be really fun to see her in her videos unbox my thing. It's always kind of fun to watch people that you watch unbox something that open up something that you sent to them. I mean, that's one of the fun things about sending happy mail to other Flosstubers, is that you get to like see them open it, and that's really fun. It's almost like, it's like in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when Mike TV goes into the TV and is like part of the show. Like, I feel like I'm part of their show, and I like that. I think that's cool. Whew, I digress. So this is my bloom that, I'll put it back up again. This is my bloom that I sent to Crafty Crafts by Dina for her ATC challenge, and it was celebrating her like 1000th video. She has way more now. She posts sometimes several videos a day. She's a very prolific video poster, so she's great for when I just want to stitch and stuff. I just watch her. She's so cheerful and nice and friendly. I love it. And the nice thing is that because I'm not a paper crafter, I'm not tempted to like buy all the things. Unlike with you Flosstubers, when you show things and are unboxing things and crafting and stuff, you make me want to buy all the things. That's my start and finish. Another one of my starts, I mentioned that I wanted to make a lonely mountain for one of my ex-students to celebrate her graduation. And so I've started on that. I have them, all of the mountains stitched, and I'm starting on the words. This is done in Gentle Arts corduroys, I think. And it was a special limited edition for the Stash Delights box, the Stitchy Box Stash Delights box. And it's kind of a dark brown to dark gray variegated. And that's going to be basically everything except for Smog, who is going to be in, I think, this really fine red silk. That's my plan. And this is from DeVere Yarns. It is, I think it's called Glace? Glacé? Is that the name? That's usually where they put the name. I don't know. But this is going to be Smog. So he's going to be nice and shiny and I think really, really striking, which is what I want. So that is my lonely mountain for my student. I put my little dino skeleton needle minder because I felt like it was kind of like Smog. So it's like my little dino dragon. So it's like Smog. No, it's okay. That is my second new start and whip, and I should finish that in the next 2 weeks. That should be a pretty quick stitch. I mean, I did all that in 1 week, but I have a very busy week coming up. So we'll see. Who knows? I'm not making any promises about the next week because I have no idea what's going to happen in the next week. My third start is a cross stitch start. I showed you my sampler that I was kind of planning on making at some point. Well, I made it last week and I decided to start it. So you're getting a sneak peek, which is fun. This is what the sampler is going to look like with some changes. I already have some changes that I want to change after stitching it. And this is where I am. I've done the ship and most of the top border. And I love it. And I feel like I'm growing up. I'm like a grown-up stitcher now. This is on an 18 count Aida. It's not 14 count. They had Michaels for some reason. I went to Michaels, and I'll talk about that in a bit too when I talk about haul. I went to Michaels and they had all sorts of fabrics and stuff, and so I picked them up. And I decided to try this on an 18 count Aida, and I'm kind of glad I did because I think that this would have been really huge on a 14 count, and now it'll fit in like a reasonable sized frame. But I love my little ship. It's so much fun. And this is being stitched in 3 colors like all my cross stitches are. DMC 500. Oh, sorry, I should probably show you. Why don't I show you them? DMC 500, DMC 562, and DMC 564. So those are the colors. But the nice thing about this is that you can stitch it in any 3 colors. I like doing light, medium, and dark, but I guess you could do it in any 3 colors. And this has that really weird alphabet, which I love. I love that weird alphabet. And I just keep this rolled up because I'm like a savage. So just roll it up and keep it in a little tube just to keep it clean. But that's trucking along. I think I'm at like 17.5%. I worked on this with my Stitchy Zoom group today, which was really fun. That comes out of Crafty Emily's Facebook group. So that was fun to work on that with them. And that is my new starts. My 3 new starts for the week. I also had stitching night with my mom on Sunday, and so we worked on our temperature libraries. And I apparently stopped halfway through a book. So we are into May, and I'm really far behind. But that's okay, because she's coming tomorrow, and we'll have lots of time to stitch. And the cool thing is that next week it's going to be in the 90s. I love heat, so I'm excited about the 90s, but also it's a new color. I'm so excited. It's a new color. I get to get into the oranges. I'm feeling very green, and so I'm happy to get into the oranges. And we might get back into the blues before I'm done, like, because we had a little cool spell right here. So I don't know. It's been a little chilly. Like, I wore a jacket to walk my dog in the morning in late May in Mississippi. That never happens. So this is my temperature library, and this is essentially what it's going to look like at the end. And if you want to stitch it, it's available in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below. And I have a cross stitch version, which looks like this. And so if you want to pick that up, you can find that there too. But, you know, no pressure. I just designed it for me and my mom, and then one of my friends here on YouTube was like, could you make that into a cross stitch chart? I would like to stitch it. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then like everyone wanted to stitch it. So I'm really excited. Oh, and there is a hashtag that is hosted by Pam of Stitching the Land of Good Enough. If you are stitching any temperature pattern, she's doing the temperature tree. I'm doing my temperature library. There are all sorts of temperature patterns out there. If you are stitching one of those, and you want to be sort of part of the stitch along, the hashtag on Instagram is Stitch the Temp Sal. I'll put it right here, Sal, S-A-L, Stitch Along. And if you put that in your post, I'm really scatty today. If you put that in your post, I follow that and I will see it and like give you all the love for your beautiful stitching, because I love seeing other people stitching. It's really fun. So that is the only stitchy whip that I have a holdover from last week that I worked on. But I have been working on my Stitch Mayhem 2021 make along. Because since I'm not real, I mean, I guess I'm stitching. But basically, Tony, the stubborn stitcher here on YouTube and also on Instagram, organized a Stitch Mayhem make along, which is basically where you try something completely new, like a completely new craft that you've never done before. She is doing an embroidery that is like bonkers. You should go check out her video. She's like, I don't know, this like bonkers, really angsty dude on a rock, Michelangelo. Oh, it's her first embroidery in a long time. I'm not going to say, I don't know exactly how many years, but her first embroidery in a long time. And so she's decided to recreate a Michelangelo masterpiece without a pattern. You know, it's mayhem. Mayhem. I, on the other hand, am doing something much simpler, and I do have a pattern for it, but I'm using the pattern in a different way. So I am taking Lindy Stitch's Hedgehog House, and I am quilting the hedgehog and one of the flowers well, the blocks are 1.5 inches, but once it's all sewn together with the seam allowance, it'll be 1-inch blocks. And I have been stitching that this week, and I've decided to hand piece it because the fabric is so small. I'm afraid that I would not have as good of control And also because it's nice and calming, right? So if you're on a sewing machine, it's like fast and loud. But if I'm doing it by hand, I can just sit in my comfy chair and watch Flosstube and just stitch for a couple hours. So this is what it looks like now. It is all laid out and I have stitched together the 4 bottom rows. I was hoping to get 1 row a day, but what I realized is that it actually takes quite a while to stitch 28 tiny little blocks together. And it was taking up most of my stitchy time during the week. So I think getting 4 done in a week is great. And I'd like to get 4 done in a week. Like that feels like a good goal for me, right? It's like progress, but not taking over all my crafting time and artistic time. And the nice thing is that I have it on felt. So I can like stick my like cutting mat under it and like move it, which is nice. So it doesn't have to just stay where it is if it's in the way. It's on the dining room table, which might get in the way. So that is my Stitch Mayhem start. And I'm really, really pleased with it so far. I think it'll be really fun. I was gonna piece the rows together with a sewing machine, but I think I might just do that by hand too. There's no reason to not do it by hand since that's kind of what I'm doing. And I mean, there's no reason why I can't just do the whole thing by hand. It'll just like be like a handmade thing, whatever it turns into, because it's bigger than I was anticipating. Anyway, this is what it looks like, and it is going to be adorable, I think. So I'll keep you posted on that progress. I got some happy mail because I won a giveaway. In fact, in the past week and a half or 2 weeks, I've won 2 Flosstube giveaways. What? I have never won a Flosstube giveaway before. Not a single one. I won 2 in 1 week. I won, the one that I've already gotten in the mail was from Amy, Mrs. Flossie. I'll put a link to her channel down below. And so what I won was the June 21 edition of Just Cross Stitch magazine. Sorry, I'm trying to not have the glare. You already have to deal with the glare on my glasses. Don't want to have to deal with it on this too. And I love it. I'm so excited. It's full of like really small projects, but also some larger projects that I'm kind of excited about. So here are all of the projects that are in here. And I love these little like vegetables. And there is some herbs, which I love too. And there are some gnomes, which are adorable. But look, there's like a little full coverage landscape, although I looked at the pattern. It's very full coverage. The ladies in my Stitchy group are always like, we're going to get you doing a Haid. And I saw this, just this little thing. I'm not doing a Haid. That is like overwhelming. That is overwhelming. I don't even know if I can do this looking at the pattern. But there are just some really cute things here. And I'm pretty excited. But I'm especially excited about the vegetables and the herbs. And I like this little floral as well. Oh, and there's fruit. Yeah, it's like all like the summer stuff. I love it. I'm really excited about it. And there are, I know you all know how to do this, or many of you know how to do this, but there are also like stitch guides, which I appreciate very much. That's just very helpful for me as like a new cross stitcher, because like there aren't really like tutorials. I guess I haven't looked. I don't know. I'm just glad. It just makes me happy. So I won that, which is exciting. And then I also won a giveaway from Crafty Emily, which is also fun. I won like a little koi charm. So I'm pretty excited about that. So that'll come eventually. She's sending it from the UK, so it's going to be a while. So I have a very small haul. Like I said, I went to Michael's and I got Aida. So I got an 18 count Aida. I got a 16 count Aida. And I think I got a 14 count Aida filler's cloth, and they're all back here. And I've been cleaning because my mom's coming tomorrow and she needed a bed to sleep on, which was where I was storing all the things that I was like showing you and stuff. And so I reorganized it, and so now it's all right here. I'll even show you. I'll even turn the camera. How nice is that? So I have like my beads here, and I have, these are like my neutral stitching fabrics, and then I have my more colorful stitching fabrics. These are my embroidery patterns here. Here's my paper. And then the fabrics that I use to like finish things and make project bags are in a different location. And essentially I moved all the books that were here to my bookcase, which is over there, which is where I had like my textbooks and all the books I was using to teach from. But I'm not teaching next semester, so I have like space on that. So I'm pretty excited that like this feels really good, this like little rainbow of yummy fabrics, and most of it's yummy linen, and I love it. I love it so much. I put all my stitching fabric up here, including my aida, which were kind of sticking out in tubes and stuff. And I didn't realize this, but I have like even weave in there too, like 28 count even weave. Someday. I've just graduated to 18 count aida, so we'll see how long it takes me to get to even weave. I also got the flosses that I'm using for my sea monster sampler, so that's fun too. And then I got some like craft supplies to do some crafting. The crafting didn't go well. The crafting was to help me organize my fabric. I was trying to make an organizational unit to like organize things, and it didn't work, which means that now I just have more stuff to find a place to put somewhere. So yeah, that's that backfired. I guess we can finish up with plans. I don't have any definite plans because I'm kind of like up in the air about how much time I'll have for stitching this week. I do plan on doing some stitching and crafting with my mom. I do plan on definitely working on our temperature library and like getting that at least definitely caught up, and also start working, doing more work on the actual like bookcase itself, because I've done almost no work on the bookcase itself. I'm almost definitely going to be working on my other two whips, my Lonely Mountain and my Sea Monster sampler. And then I want to work on my Stitch Mayhem Lindy Stitches hedgehog quilt. Other than that, I mean, that's a lot, although I don't expect to put a ton of stitches into anything really, because I'm mostly just going to enjoy spending time with my mom since I haven't seen her in like 17 months. Maybe go strawberry picking. We do have a social gathering. My friends are moving any day now in the next 2 weeks. She is in the Air Force, and so, you know, they move, and so they're moving to the DC area. So we'll miss them very, very much, but they're having kind of a last little get together in their driveway. So it's outside and safe and everything. But they are doing it on Sunday, and my mom's coming too. And apparently they really want to meet her. So I think that's it from me. I feel like I'm just kind of babbling now. So I'm going to let you go. And I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I will see you on Friday or Saturday. And with all that being said, please take good care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.